Hi everyone. Yesterday was a really important day and I wanted to capture that with a personal message. If you are wondering why I'm looking a little bit like a 1980s Madonna and salt and pepper combo, it's because I was supposed to record this yesterday. My day got completely away from me and now I'm in costume for an Edison Teenage Rebellion party that I'm heading off to in about 45 minutes. So Edison turned 13 officially. We hit our teenage years, so watch out world. A menopausal woman with teenage children and a teenage business. That is quite the collision and combination. Turning 13, while it's not a huge number, I know lots of businesses have been around longer, but it felt monumental. 13 is a mystical number, it's superstitious if you believe in it, but it's also a symbol of coming into one's own, beginning of an era, self-discovery, identity, challenging the status quo. It really is the beginning of what I believe is the age of transition, or what for decades and centuries people have believed when people turn 13, that's a big milestone. There's a lot of people to thank in that milestone, past and present team, past and present client partners, industry community I feel really connected to and I'm grateful for. But when you run an independent business, so the SME side of the creative industry, the people most impacted by the highs and lows of business are actually the families of the founders and, of course, myself in my circumstance. Yesterday was Are You OK Day, and I'm really grateful for people who checked in on me, for SMEs in our industry, particularly in the marketing communication area, so advertising, design. It's a bloody tough slog. And the moment, the world is already reeling from post-COVID challenges, we've got new norms set in place, a new way to do business, a pretty unstable economy. So it's important to check in on people that you know who have added pressures to contend with, aside from just normal life pressures. So this milestone, while the number's more symbolic than anything, it's important to me to stop and acknowledge and show myself kindness and compassion. Like many of you, I'm sure, you're probably an awesome human to everyone else, but a terrible friend to yourself. And this is certainly something that I am practicing, self-gratitude. It's not something I do a lot of, but I have a lot of privilege, the colour of my skin, the country that I was born in. I didn't do anything to contribute to that, but I didn't have an idealised upbringing. I didn't have a private school education where my ambitions were nurtured in a beautiful way and I was shown a pathway of potential. That didn't happen for me. In fact, I was told by some very unsavoury men at several formative junctions in my life that I didn't have what it took to make it in this world or this industry. I had too much attitude, not enough compliance, whatever the hell that means, or discipline to be successful. And really that was just adding fuel to the already raging fire that I had as a woman. So I'm grateful for that cynicism because it really gave me the drive that I needed. I thankfully have a pretty high propensity for risk, which you need when you're running your own business. It's quite amazing I'm still alive, to be honest. I have that unwavering drive that gets cranked up to high voltage for the last 49 years, and it does make it pretty tiring right about now. But I have forged a career doing something I feel passionate about. I have a lot of conviction for. I've worked really hard. I planned my career a lot like a game of chess, always a few steps ahead looking for that next strategic move. I've experienced the big smoke of London, but I've mostly called Melbourne home for a really long time. Aside from London and New York, I really see Melbourne as one of the design meccas. Aside from our heinous political history, it is a really brilliant creative city to live and thrive in, and I'm grateful for that. Although thriving in the current economy is much more difficult. But this milestone also means something for me because I have overcome significant obstacles in my life. When I started Edison, I was only recently navigating the really difficult court and legal system in a very long and traumatic running family violence case. Who would have thought that we had a broken system, right? Well, for lots of you who I know are going through that, you know what I mean. I know many women from all sorts of walks of life who have a familiar story. The thing with domestic violence, it doesn't always discriminate. So I started Edison not only because I knew I had the creative capability and the business nous to do so, but it was really because I needed to be in charge. I was a single parent to a young son. I needed flexibility, I needed autonomy, and most importantly, I needed cash. I never received parenting support. Don't get me started on the broken child support system, because that is just, hours of narrative and soapboxing. But the business was both high risk, hard work, but also freedom. It afforded me the opportunity to be independent. I, luckily enough, had strong financial acumen. It allowed me to support my son without requiring any assistance. And I've always felt that paying your salary is a real privilege. The agency, it gives you agency. It afforded me the ability to take new opportunities and be able to pay that forward, which I feel grateful for now. So the birthday kicks off a really year-long celebration and festival. It's a celebration of everything that we've learned, everything that we're loved and we're passionate about, everything that we've built and created, plus hopefully a preview of some great fun things that are going to happen. Tonight I'll be celebrating with teenaged angst with my team and fellow colleagues and clients and the community. We'll be celebrating 13 years of crushing the odds, shaking up status quo, 13 years of learning hard lessons and bouncing back stronger, 13 years of surviving what feels like 13 pandemics, 13 years of wild celebrations, silly hats, big ideas, 13 years of being surrounded by really inspiring people, and 13 years of what we define as creating, breaking and remaking great brands and organisations. And I'm really proud of the work, and I'm going to be sharing more of that work on LinkedIn soon. So I just wanted to say to everyone who's been on this wild ride with me and with the team at Edison, really a lot of love and gratitude. And thank you for being there. Thank you for listening. Please make sure that you reach out to people and ask them if they are okay. If you know someone in the business, or really anyone, but people in business do it tough. So make sure you ask. Thanks for listening. Bye.